year, which means it's time for a new Q&A. I asked you on Instagram if you had any questions, and these were my favorites that I picked. Starting things off, we have DRL222, who asked, will I make an awards video for LEGO Sets 2023? Love your presenting skills. Firstly, thank you very much. I really feel like that microphone was a fantastic investment. I have so much fun with it, and there's just something that comes over me every single time I use it and like present with it. That's why I use my hairdryer as well and like news from my bed videos half the time, because it's just a lot of fun to like have a prop. It makes me feel powerful. I did have this video idea on my list. I mean, I feel like it's such a basic thing. Like everyone talks about their top sets of 2023, and then December rolled around and I don't know what happened. I feel like I blinked and the month was over and I never got around to it, and now I feel like it's a little too late to discuss things like that. Some of my favorite sets of 2023, one of which was the Wally and Eve brickheads. I thought they were so adorable. Rivendell, of course, had to be up there, but I feel like everyone defaulted to Rivendell, and every single time I looked at someone else's top sets of 2023 list, there was just a ton of giant sets all the time, and no one really talked about the smaller models that were going on, which is kind of interesting. Gringotts for me, of course, has to take that #1 spot. I mean, how could it not? It's such a gorgeous set and is just like perfectly made for me. But another one that I feel like constantly gets overlooked was the Black Lake Triwizard Tournament set. That set was amazing and definitely is one of the standouts of 2023. I think it's fantastic value. It's relatively cheap as well compared to a lot of other sets, and I just want to see more things in that price range. Like, that would be really nice. The No Way Home final battle. Overall, I think 2023 was an absolute killer year, and I'm really excited to see what the rest of 2024 has, because I already know that that creative film camera is going on the list. It's so good. GL16s wants to know which Harry Potter set should be done from book 5. Order of the Phoenix has been really overlooked. I feel like I was kind of thinking about it recently. I was like, I mean, I talk a lot about the Deathly Hallows, and when I put all of my minifigures sorted by movie in a container, the Deathly Hallows Part 1 by far had the least, closely followed by the Order of the Phoenix. There has really not been a lot, and when we're doing just general Hogwarts stuff, I would love to see some more from the Order of the Phoenix. The Department of Mysteries though, or Dumbledore versus Voldemort, are the clear winners for me. A Dumbledore versus Voldemort little dual diorama thing would be so cool, with like the little ball of water and a bunch of transparent blue pieces. I think that would be really sick. Otherwise, the Department of Mysteries would be so sick. I mean, Sirius isn't going to be included in the set. I feel like that would just be a little too dark. Just throw a couple of Death Eaters in there, or like Ginny and Neville, and I mean, I feel like we always get Luna, so I'd rather not get Luna. But I just think of like all of the transparent pieces, it would be really cool. We only ever got a glimpse of it as well in the Ministry of Magic set, which was really sick, but just not enough. Otherwise, it was a really hard to identify advent calendar build, and I'd like to see a little bit more. Mikkel says, what leaked set are you most excited for this year? First up, with the leaks, I don't know if it's just me, but I have felt a little overwhelmed recently. I know last year it got to a point where I was like, I don't even know what's coming out from LEGO anymore, and this year, more so than last, is like the same thing. Also, things are starting to leak earlier, it feels like, so I'm feeling a little bit overwhelmed. But out of the ones that I do remember, firstly, I mean, out of Harry Potter, the Dumbstrung Ship and Great Hall, those are my top 2 most wanted to look at, most hyped. From Star Wars, I'm personally really excited for the Sarlacc Pit. I do not have a lot of Return of the Jedi in my collection, and I'm probably not gonna buy the big UCS Jabba's sail barge that's most likely coming out in October, but the Sarlacc Pit, it's a cheap set, it's small, I'm gonna get a new Lando, I'm just gonna have a new scene in general, some more Return of the Jedi, and that really excites me. To be completely honest, as much as I love the idea of midi scale, I just don't care for any of those midi scale ships that they're releasing. I could not care less, I'm not interested, which kind of makes the March wave a little bit disappointing. I can't wait to see the Tantive hallway though. The rest of the Star Wars leaks, honestly, I've forgotten already. I'm not super invested in Jedi Bob as a character and like that whole thing, so that set really doesn't interest me. Out of Marvel, there's quite a few good sounding sets. I can't wait to see what the Milano looks like. I think that's gonna be really fabulous. The Lego City Gorillas are gonna be really fun. Snow White's Cottage, that's actually one that I'm very excited for. I'm a big Disney person. I'm just nervously waiting to see if it's based off the new movie or the original. The mini Sleeping Beauty castle, I've been waiting for that for ages. I'm very excited for that one. The Big Madrigal house sounds really cool. If they end up doing Maleficent, I'm really excited for that. And speaking of upcoming Lego sets, Milo wants to know what my thoughts on the Black Millennium Falcon and other new Star Wars sets are. So I'm gonna look up the full list, but starting off, the Black Millennium Falcon, when I first heard about this, I kind of thought, you know, it could be proven to be fake. It sounds really fun and really exciting, but for me, I don't like the fact that it's a hefty price point. Like, I wish it was one of the cheaper Star Wars sets personally. Like, I'd rather them do the Black Millennium Falcon as like a midi scale set and include a couple of minifigures rather than take up the largest price point when it comes to a set. I think it's gonna look really, really cool, but it's just not something I'm overall interested in. I love that they're mixing it up a little bit. I think it would be a really cool Halloween type of decoration. I completely forgot about one of my favorite ones that I'm most looking forward to is the Sith Infiltrator remake. I am very, very excited for that. I don't have a lot of Phantom Menace stuff, and it has a Padme minifigure in it. Absolutely, I'm buying. And not like we know what set they're in, but the Cal Kestis minifigure and young Leia, I'm hyped for them. I'm so excited. And then the Ahsoka set I'll buy just because of the minifigures, but I'll wait for that to go on sale. Jaden says, I've seen a lot of people advocating for the end of Lego Harry Potter and asks what's my take. I have to admit, I feel like I kind of went into this boat last year. Just last year's wave broke me, and I've kind of realized the fact that I'm like, no, I'm gonna continue to buy every single set and review, or at least make a video on every single set, but I'm definitely not keeping them. And look, Harry Potter as a universe and a Lego theme, it is very limiting. Compared to Star Wars and compared to Marvel, there is significantly less material to make sets on, and that is why we get so many remakes. And I get it, and I also respect the remakes, but the problem with Harry Potter is that the remake cycle is so small compared to a lot of other themes. However, Harry Potter is consistently in the top 5 best-selling themes. I don't think it's gonna be in the next Lego review that they end up doing that documents all of that data, to be completely honest, but it is always a top seller. However, I think for Harry Potter to have longevity, they need to go back to doing 1 wave per year. Like, I think that would fix a lot of people's issues. At the moment, you know, continue going if you really want to. It is pretty exhausting, but at the same time, I've now realized this. We don't have to buy everything. Not every single set is made for us. Not every single set is targeted towards us. You can just skip something, which is sad because it is exciting when there's always like a new set and to be really excited about the wave. Unless the theme sales plummet, it's not stopping. Friend of the show, Firebird, wants to know what are my goals for my YouTube channel in 2024. My big one is to finally hit 100,000 subscribers. This was my goal last year. I unfortunately didn't make it. I cut back on the amount of videos that I was posting a lot. And this year I do want to post a little bit more than I was doing last year, but at the same time, there is no way I'm going back to daily content. So that is my main goal. I did actually write out like all of my goals for the year, whether it be like a personal goal or a career goal in my little journal. I would also really like to get 10,000 supporters on an upcoming ideas project that I'm currently working on. And then another main one, which is at the bottom of the list, is to make better videos. And I understand that that statement is very, very broad. However, last year I feel like I had such a mental struggle because I was kind of facing that battle of, do I change up my content and do what everyone else is doing and do the Mr. Beast like meta version? And I kind of tried to do that, but I was always very hesitant. So when I tried, it just never worked. It felt very inauthentic. And then between all of that and then just like Harry Potter completely disappointing me, I just feel like last year was like an absolute mess. And I mean, my YouTube statistics showed that, like my subscriber growth just like completely slowed down compared to previous years. Like I was uploading less. It was just like a little bit of a mess of a year. And this year I'm really hoping to kind of refocus things. And I think after making that Barbie video, I kind of have a better idea of what I want to do, but I'm not totally there yet. But I've realized that for me, Make Better Videos looks like my Mean Girls video. If you haven't watched that, to be very blunt with you, please go and watch it. I think it is the best video that I have ever done. It's like my Barbie video, but like improved significantly. And that style makes me really excited. I also received a lot of incredible feedback on that video, and it just makes me really, really excited. I want to do more stuff like that, but I also still want to do the things that I grew this channel on, which is talking about the sets that I'm excited about, the sets that are coming out, being creative, displaying things, and just like overall refine my channel a little bit more, make everything feel a little bit more cohesive as well. And if I can do all of that, I think I'll be able to hit the 100,000. And speaking of 100K, Ninjago fan Holly wants to know, what would my 100K celebrations be? I have no idea. I have already built my white whale set. I've opened it and I built it and I reviewed it, so I can't do anything about that. It's not like I can go and buy another white whale set either, because like, that was it. And I stream regularly, so I kind of just don't want to do a live stream, though I probably will end up doing like a celebratory live stream anyway. But like, I'd like to do something more as well, but like, I don't know what that looks like. If you have any ideas on like a way that would be really fun to celebrate 100K, Let me know in the comments down below. Germany asked, am I excited for the Nightmare Before Christmas set? How do you think they'll make some of the characters? I am so excited for this, and every couple of months I remember that this is coming out and I just get jazzed. Like, one, I love a good festive set. In terms of characters, I presume a lot of them are gonna be minifigures, but also probably a couple of like brick built characters with like printed cone pieces or like printed round bricks and like maybe some minion like body part type of things. I can definitely see that happening. I think Jack and Sally will be updated from their CMF versions. I really want to get it before Halloween though, and if Hocus Pocus has taught me anything, I should probably buy it day one in order to achieve that. I mean, at least in Australia, Hocus Pocus wasn't super popular. Like, it's not as big of a movie here as it is in the US, but I feel like Nightmare Before Christmas is gonna be a different story. Stuart Walker has an interesting question and asked, what do I think about fake or imitation Lego? If it's good quality, is that okay or all bad? I really like this discussion. I think it's really interesting. Now, I'm interpreting this question as asking about like fake knockoff companies rather than companies like Mega Bloks. I have no problem with companies like Mega Bloks, or I guess like alternate brick brands. I don't know what other ones there are off the top of my head, but like Mega Bloks, I've tried their stuff. I think it's fantastic. I love their Pokemon range, and their Xbox as well is really, really cool. I have no issue with that. But companies that are like directly ripping off Lego products and stealing people's designs, I do not agree with it all. Like companies like Lepin, like to me, like you are ripping off like firstly the intellectual property of Lego as a company and Lego's designers more so. Like you are stealing the designers' models and remaking them, or I've even seen companies do it with like Lego Ideas projects. Like I remember seeing a lot of fake Starry Night models before the Starry Night Ideas set even released, and just stuff like that. Like I do not agree with it all. Like one, especially with Lepin, if you're like building a Millennium Falcon or a Harry Potter Hogwarts castle, like you're also stealing the IP for Star Wars and Warner Brothers, and like Lego pays a lot for those licensing rights. Not that I would know exactly how much that is, but you know, like stuff like that is very, very expensive. But then there are also other companies that don't do those types of things and like just make their own models, and then half the time it turns out they're like stealing someone's design that they've put on Rebrickable or YouTube and things like that. And that is something that I've also questioned, like when I released the instructions for my mini Diagon Alley models. Not that I feel like it was popular enough to like rip off necessarily, or even my Monsters Inc. Ideas project. Like that's something that I think of in the back of my head is like, what if someone steals this? And Lego custom companies, I do not have a problem with. If you are marketing your products as, hey, this is a custom print on genuine Lego, and you're not trying to pass it off as Lego or anything, no problem with you at all. It's the companies that pass it off as Lego that I really feel like are just, it's not a good thing. There are definitely a lot of companies that are directly stealing from Lego. I cannot stand or agree with that at all. Similarly with AI Lego art, I know that has become a much more prominent thing recently. You see it everywhere. I think that is so bad for the mock building community and for Lego artists and just artists in general. Like AI art versus artists and photographers, it is not a good thing. I do not agree with it at all. It's becoming increasingly popular, but that's just my opinion. I would love to know what you think about like fake / alternative companies as well as like AI art, because I think there's a really interesting and in-depth discussion to be had about all of those different things. On a kind of similar note, Ostrich Guy wants to know what my thoughts are on the Monochrome Figs and the market. Now, for anyone who doesn't know, the Monochrome Figs that Ostrich is talking about are known or supposedly minifigures that have been smuggled out of the Mexico or any other Lego factory that are all just like a singularly colored minifigure. So often it will be like a clone trooper or Darth Vader, C-3PO, and I personally have a couple of these in my collection. The first one that I've got is this light pink chrome trooper, which also has a pink hologram Palpatine piece, and then I have this like really nice pearlescent transparent pink one, and then I have a pink Darth Vader and a blue Darth Vader. I have always been really fascinated by these things. I just thought they looked really cool, and I distinctly remember as well going into a meeting once when I was a Lego ambassador and them trying to like tell everyone that no, these aren't official Lego. That's not right. Like, no, they're all fake. Like, they're lying to you. And that always just didn't feel right to me. And I remember when the guy was saying this and there was just something that felt off in his response. Like, it very much felt like damage control. Like, no, we're not going to admit that these are real, because like, honestly, why would they? They're not going to admit that they're real and then get like everyone excited and everyone buying these figures, especially if they were like smuggled out of a factory. So kind of reading the facial expression and the body language, like it instantly told me that like, no, this is real. Like, you basically just confirmed it by denying it, if that makes sense. And for a while, these minifigures were super readily available. Like, you could buy them on eBay. A lot of people would buy them on Whatnot. All of the listings have been scrubbed from Bricklink. In fact, like, your store will get shut down if you publish them now, which again kind of confirms the fact that no, these are real. Like, these are made in the Lego factory. This is Lego plastic. Like, this is Lego's molds. And to my knowledge, I feel like it has really, really slowed down recently. So I feel like Lego has cracked down on these things. Personally, I just think they're a really cool thing to have in the collection. I definitely feel like there is kind of like a gray area when it comes to these things. For me, I just really wanted pink clone troopers. I think they're a really cool thing. I would love for Lego to release like an official line of these. Like, imagine if they did like an Everyone is Awesome type of set with like all Darth Vaders or all clone troopers. I just think it would be so cool, and it's such a unique little Lego item for Lego fans. Personally, I have no problem with them, but I can see why people would be hesitant to have these as part of their collection. I think they're really interesting though, and could be really useful, especially like gray ones being used as statues or something in a mock. I think that could be pretty fun. I would love to have like all different colors of the rainbow, but these are also like pretty expensive, so I'm happy with my pink ones. Pacto Trainer wants to know what my thoughts are on doing a fan meetup. This personally is something that I just don't think I would ever do. And I did really want to answer this question actually, because like I really wanted to talk about, I guess, like just Lego conventions in general. Like, that is the one place that like I will go. I will absolutely do like a fan meetup at a convention. I put in a display request again for Brick World Chicago so that I can put up some of the mocks that I've shown on my channel, and also just like have a place where I can say, hey, I'm here if you want to meet me. I will be standing here all day. Granted, I will talk to people for hours, and sometimes I feel really bad because I will talk so much and then I will see that someone else looks like they really want to talk to me, but I'm too busy talking to this other person, and I'm just really bad at ending conversations. But at the same time, I feel like that's a pretty good problem to have, is that I want to talk to people too much. Last year, I just remember though, like not eating and not drinking on like Saturday at Brick World Chicago. It was bad. So this year I'm gonna prepare and like have stuff under my table and like actually take a lunch break. But if you ever want to meet me, like, conventions are the best place to do so. That being said, any Australians who went to Brickvention, you would have noticed that I was not there. I really, really wanted to go. I put in a display request. Unfortunately, it got denied. And then when I priced it up, it was looking to be like $3,500, and I just could not justify that. Atlanta BrickCon as well, I wanted to go to this year. I had such a blast last year, and again, unfortunately, I will be missing out on that one too, and I'm so bummed. It just did not work timing wise, and I'm so upset about it. But Brick World Chicago, I will be at if you want to come and meet me. I will try to get to Brick Build Sydney, but I looked at the dates and I honestly don't think I'm going to be able to make it to that. So at least at the moment, the only convention I'll be going to is Brick World Chicago. If you want to come and meet me there and talk to me, again, I will talk to you for hours. Owen asked, do I think they should make Disney diorama sets? Absolutely. First up, let's do the Sleeping Beauty dragon. I mean, we're all waiting for it, which should have happened by now. I feel like that one worked perfectly with a diorama. I would also just love to see like a Little Mermaid one with Eric and like the statue that sinks underwater in Ariel's little collection grotto. That would be so cool. Or like Aladdin and Jasmine like sat on top of the rooftop, or like flying on their magic carpet and it's just like two little micro figures. Again, that would be really sick. Or the Lion King and doing Pride Rock. Like, there are so many options that you could do for Disney diorama sets. I love a good diorama set. I love a display set, and I love Disney and I want more Disney. So if we can combine those two things, that sounds like a dream sub theme to me. Master Jedi wants to know, when will live build streams be back? So I haven't done one on YouTube in quite a while, but for anyone who doesn't know, I have been doing, or at least trying to do, weekly live streams on Twitch. It's under the same name, HollyOnFilm. You'll find a link in the description down below. Granted, I haven't been building anything because I haven't really had much that I've wanted to build recently. So it's more just been like sitting and chatting and talking about Lego leaks and just like discussing what's going on, life updates, general conversations. So if you want to come and join with that, usually I will do them on Sunday morning Australian Eastern Daylight Time, which is usually Saturday night in Europe and the US. It is really hard to nail every single time zone, so please forgive me. I'm gonna do it at a time that suits me in Australia, so I'm very sorry to all my Europeans. You will have to watch them on catch catch up. I'm also trying to re-upload all of the streams too on my second channel, Holly on Air, so I've kind of got like a little, I guess, like archival system on there. But in terms of build streams on YouTube, I don't think I'll do one until there's like a really big set to kind of do. Like, I guess when I get the Great Hall set for summer of Harry Potter, that I'll probably do on YouTube as a live stream, or if I've got a more kind of video idea but can be done live type of concept, like that would be a YouTube live stream. But just for general build streams, go and check out my Twitch. Thank you all so much for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up, consider subscribing to my channel down below, and if you want to ask me a question next time, be sure to follow me on Instagram. But until next time guys, I'll see you later.